Now we need to go back to our database. Here I wanted to show that we have calculated date of manufacture, elapsed time for manufacture, and accepted products, that as 3 derived columns that we are going to enter here. But we also need the value for product code, batch number, machine number. So for those, we are going to be using lookup. So let's get 3 lookup functions here. And let me go ahead and show you the database diagram. So the one is going to be for product code, one for batch number, one for machine number. So let's go ahead, and these are coming from this lookup. So the first one I'm going to be calling this as, so rename this. I'm calling it batch or lookup batch. And the next one I'm going to rename this as lookup machine number. Make sure I type it. The third one I am renaming as lookup product code. So first of all, I'm going to connect this derived column to the lookup batch. So let's go ahead and click that blue line with it. Now I'm going to edit the lookup batch. So right click edit, and in the general, I will say full cache and OLEDB. Then in the specify how to handle rows with no matching entries, I'm going to say redirect rows to no match output. Okay. Then we go to connection. Our connection is going to be the data warehouse. And in this case, we will point to the dim batch table, which is already existing in our database. Then we need to work on the columns. So let's go to the columns. For this, what we want is batch number. So this data is coming as an input, and this is the lookup columns that you can look it up. So basically, we want batch number here to be connected to batch number here. So let's do that connection. And know why this is not okay. Now the line is showing up correctly, and then go ahead and hit OK. But before that, let's double check nothing in advanced or error that needs to be worked on. So go ahead and hit OK. Now I'm going to move this one right underneath the second lookup and look this one a little bit down. So for this, I'm going to connect the lookup batch to lookup machine number now. So let's go ahead and connect that blue-green line correctly. And it says, what do you want the output to be? Let's point it to lookup match output. Okay, we will see once you do that. There may be another line here. We will deal with that later on. Now we are going to work on lookup machine number. So let me right click and edit. Again, in the general connection, I'm going to change fail component to redirect rows to no match output. Then the connection is going to be the data warehouse. And this time the table, since this is machine, is going to be the dim machine table. And let's go to the columns. So I'm going to connect the machine number here to the machine number on the other side. Okay. And hit OK. Then I'm going to take this blue arrow and connect this to the next phase, which is lookup product code. It's going to ask me the same question about the output, and we are saying lookup match output. And hit OK. Let's configure the last one. So lookup product, go to edit. Again, the fail component and change that. to redirect rows to no match output. Then connection is going to be the data warehouse. The table this time will be the dim product table. And once again, we go to columns. We have a product code here. We have a product code here. We are going to match both the product codes and hit OK. So we have done all of this. Now, this is only talking about the source and transformations that we have. We need to add a destination. So now we need to add a destination, for which we will go to OLEDB destination, which will be in other destinations. So let's go grab a destination here. And once again, we are going to connect the lookup product code to this destination. And the output will be same, lookup match output, and hit OK. Now let's go ahead and edit this. So the connection manager, we are going to get the data from the database warehouse. Let's look at the name of the table or the view. So this is going to be our fact table, fact manufacturing. Then we go to the mappings. Let's look at that. So let's see which ones are there. So product code needs to be matched with product code here. So let's go ahead and search for it here real quick. So product code is going to be matched to product code. Batch number should be matched with the batch number. Machine number should be matched to machine number. Then we have date of manufacture matched to date of manufacturer. Elapsed time of manufacturer. Then I'm going to do accepted products can be number accepted, and rejected products is going to be matched to number rejected. So now we have done all the mappings here, and we are going to hit OK. So far we have all the matched output. Now we need to see what we need to do about the unmatched output. Now I'm going to do a little bit of formatting here. So formatting in auto layout in the diagram. This will arrange everything nicely for us, all in straight line and everything. So far you would see that we have made the loading sequence, but all of this assumes that we will have no errors, like lookup matched output only. What if we get some non-matched outputs? There are errors. What happens with those? And that's an essential part of the ETL process, that we need to find missing data or non-matching data and be able to deal with it. So what we are going to do is we are going to get a union all and drag it here, and from all three of this lookup batch, lookup machine, and lookup product code, non-matching data we are going to pass to this union. So let's connect the non-matching values to this union here. Non-matching values from here goes to the union as well, and non-matching from product code to the union. So now we have this union all acting like a bucket to collect all the non-matching data from batch, machine, and product. Now let's output this union into a flat file. So I'm going to do another destination as a flat file destination. We'll put it here, and we are going to call this as PTI errors. So let's rename this and call this PTI errors. And I'm going to connect this to the union. So the output of union goes there. So right now you will see on PTI errors there is this red cross. This is because there is no actual file assigned to this. So we need to assign an output file for this. So I'm going to go here and edit the connection. In the connection manager, the only connection it has as a flat file is batch CSV. We don't want that, so we need to go ahead and create a new one. We will choose the format as delimited. Then go ahead, hit OK. And In the name, I can call it PTI underscore errors. And let's go give a file name. So I'm going to go hit browse. And this, you should go to your own folder. You can go one step up. There should be a folder here, SSIS project files. That's the one that you created earlier. So go into here and maybe we can put this as PTI underscore errors. And that's a text file we are going to put. And let's leave it at that. We are going to look at the columns. So these columns are coming from the union all. Then let's look at the advanced and you will see the same column names are here and their data types. Let's do a quick preview. So right now there is nothing in there. I'll go back to the general tab and hit column names in the first data row. That way when you get the data, the first row will always be the column names. So make sure you don't miss the step and then go ahead and hit OK. Now we should be ready to run this, but before we do, let's make sure that the database has data in all the dimension tables. So I will go back to the database, select all these select statements and hit execute. And we'll make sure that all the tables have the data. Everyone except the fact table has the data. So now we are ready to load the data into the fact table. Let's go back to Visual Studio or SSIS. And we are on the fact package. Let's hit save all before we do anything else. Keep saving your work. And once I save, now I can click on start, which will start the execution. It might take a few minutes. So it looks like this has finished executing, and I can see that batch, CSV, derived columns, all of these have green checks in them. One thing I would like to note is from batch CSV to derived columns, the very first step has 4588 rows, 4588 rows. And if you keep going down the step, at some point in the destination, you see there is one row less. So 4587 rows. So where did that row go? You will see about here that from the lookup product table, it looks like there was some non-matching data which went to the union all and then being written to our PTI error file. So we will go ahead and look at that one. So I'm going to my file explorer, SSIS project files, look at the PTI error table, and you will see in this file that there is one row open here. So you can have a look, and this is one of the discussion question in this assignment. So I'm not going to tell you what happened here. Please examine for yourself why this one row is written here. And that's also part of your assignment to think about. Now, so we loaded the data successfully. Let's go back to our database. This time I'm going to check for the fact table. So just select star from DBO fact manufacturing. Let's go ahead and see. So it looks like a lot of data has been loaded. Let's see how many rows there are. 4587. If you see these many rows and everything has loaded, you're done with loading the entire project or all the dim table as well as the fact table into the data warehouse. For submission, however, you may like to go ahead and delete everything from this database before you submit. So that way, when I'm grading, all I need to do is go ahead and just check and run everything by myself. So just delete everything here, and I will go back and select. So none of the tables have data. So that completes your assignment. But here's the discussion question for you. Once you debug and fill the fact table, what row is written to PTI error files? Why is it written? So you need to see why that is the case. And here's the deliverables. You need to leave the data warehouse empty and the SSIS project on the server. So make sure your SSIS project is saved on the server. Save all before you exit Visual Studio, and make sure we deleted all the table data from all the tables. You leave it like that. Then you're going to create a new Word document with your name as specified. Then include all these details. I want a screenshot of the control flow screen and the Solution Explorer. Put all of these things in the Word file and submit the Word file. That's all. Thank you.